Welcome along, everybody. We have spent the last 2 nights watching playoff football on the channel and focusing on the teams trying to get out of the Championship, with Leeds and Southampton reaching the Wembley final next week. But right now, we're going to have a good look at 2 teams trying to get in to the Championship. Only one is going to do it, and in the next 2.5 maybe hours, either Oxford United or Bolton Wanderers are going to be getting promoted to the Championship. It's the League One playoff final from Wembley. Someone is about to go up. Come and join us for the watch along. Big welcome to everybody watching along. It's Bolton versus Oxford, Wembley Stadium. Bolton looking to make a reasonably quick return to the Championship. They were last in it in 2019. Here's a question for the live chat straight away. When were Oxford last in it? Feels a long time ago. Maybe late 90s? Someone will tell me in the chat. There's an assignment for you. But both looking to get back in today and get out of League One, which, as I know from first-hand experience, can be quite the trap. Get involved over there in the comments. We'll go to predictions. We'll go to team news, etc., etc. We're really pleased to have everybody here this afternoon. Let's say some hellos to Justin, to Ashley, to Annie and Liam, and another Liam and Peter in the chat. Get your thoughts in. And yeah, hello to Mayan on TikTok as well. If you're watching up there on TikTok on the iPhone as well. Welcome Kieran in the chat. And Lee, keep your powder dry on your predictions. We'll get in there. Sorry, no beautiful pink lighting over there. I didn't charge it up, did I? I will take the blame. Welcome, Tom, as well. Hoping to see Oxford in the Championship. For variety, yes, but as I always say here, may the best team win. And let's be honest, if like me, you cover the Championship, you've been a bit spoiled, haven't we? Portsmouth promoted, Derby promoted, some big fan bases joining the Championship. And let's be frank, another one potentially coming in with either Bolton or Oxford coming in. Big hello to Dave in the chat. Leon, welcome to you. Love to see Oxford make it. Can see Bolton having a bit too much for them. We'll get into the whys and wherefores. Bolton, 3rd in the regular season. Oxford, 5th. So remember, that's the biggest potential gap we can have in a final, isn't it? 2 places. We can either get 3rd v 5th or 4th v 6th in the final. I speak well. He's all ready for his 0-0 prediction. Clicker Bay, back to the Championship for us. Welcome to you, fella. Some Blades in there, I assume. He is a Sheffield United fan. Let's get into team news then, real quick. Thank you, Liam. There you go. 98.99. I bet. Another assignment for you. I'm sure I saw Ipswich draw 3-3 at Oxford, possibly in that season. Maybe it's the season before. Can't quite remember. I definitely would have been at the home games anyway as a youngster then. But yeah, it's been a long time for Oxford. And let's be frank, both of these teams, these clubs have had the big drop down as well into the lower reaches of the EFL. Ian, we need you for this one, our resident EFL League 1 and 2 expert, Ian. Fire your questions at him, and I'll be very transparent, obviously, today. Last season, Ipswich in League 1 and working for ITV on the EFL show, I was well across League One, believe you me. This season, less so. So I'll not claim to know stuff that I don't. What I do know, massive white end there. Bolton looks like they've taken tons of fans down to Wembley. A beautiful, beautiful sight on this May afternoon. Right, we got to do it. We've got to get in team news very, very quickly. Let's just go to Match Bingo. Our wonderful sponsors do get involved over on Match Bingo. They do not have the rights for League One, so no card to play along. So I am going to point you towards a mega super jackpot, a double £1,000 jackpot tomorrow. I've got my card right there. Arsenal versus Everton in the Premier League over on Match Bingo. That means two £1,000 jackpots. First person to get there is going to keep £1,000 all to themselves, and anyone else who fills their card out, even after that first full house has gone, is going to get a share of another £1,000 jackpot. Over £2,000 in the bank potentially tomorrow. Get involved over on Match Bingo. As ever, do let them know we sent you by going via that QR code there. Last weekend in the Premier League, and big prizes up for grabs. Remember, if you're playing Match Bingo as well, I'm duty bound to tell you, for your own good, please play responsibly. We are gambling, of course. There are Des Buckingham and Ian Ever and the players getting lined up in the Wembley tunnel. I promised you to chat about the teams, didn't I? We'd better get in there. Team news coming now. Let's dive in. Some of these players you'll be familiar with, some you may not. Let's start with Bolton Wanderers. Nathan Baxter in goal. Ian Toyle. Ricardo Santos, a giant unit at the back. You'll definitely recognise him. And Gethin Jones is the back three. I'll do the wing backs first. Josh Cogley and Nathaniel Ogbeta. In midfield, Sheehan, Magoma, and George Thomason. And familiar names if you're into the top goal scorer charts for League One. Dion Charles has been up there for a couple of seasons, hasn't he? Former Accrington striker. And, well, certainly up to halfway with Bristol Rovers last season. Aaron Collins was banging the goals in. He made the move to Bolton this season. On the bench for the Wanderers, Coleman, Iredale, Forrester, Morley, Dempsey, Jerome. You can still find him. And Adebayo Ajo. Let me know who you're excited to see. Who do you think the danger men will likely be? For Oxford United, Jamie Cumming in goal. Fullbacks there, Sam Long and Joe Bennett, who certainly all you Championship fans will be aware of. There's Elliot Moore and Kieran Brown in the centre-back spot, say Foot Mob. A very familiar name, Cameron Brannigan, a sort of goal-scoring midfielder, famed when we used to do the Saturday Super Stream on the channel. Scored 4 penalties in one game, didn't he? Owen Dale, excuse me. Ruben Rodriguez. Where was that pickup from? Notts County, wasn't it? Young Tyler Goodrum, who broke through last season. And another familiar name there is Josh Murphy, one of the Murphy twins. There is the top scorer for Oxford United. Mark Harris, who used to play for Cardiff in the Championship. And you can have a look on my channel. I was at Derby v Oxford earlier in the season. I'm pretty sure Mark Harris scored in that game. It was a long time ago. Long time ago. Simon Eastwood, Stevens, Lee, McEachran, McGuane, Bodin and Brown on the bench for Oxford United. Let's dive into those comments and see who you are interested in seeing play. And let's say hello to Vin Brum. September the 12th, 1998. Was it really that long ago? I was at that game. God, I'm old. Expert is just take it, Ian. Don't argue, hey? 3-3, some throwback. I'm sure Dean Windass, I'm certain, scored a free kick under the wall. Super clever goal, I tell you that one. George Thompson, subject to £1 million bid. Thomason, excuse me, from Bristol City last summer. VAR in operation today. I'm sure that will get tongues wagging, no doubt. Steve, welcome to you. Magoma v Brannigan will decide to join the game. Looks like we are into national anthem mode. So let's get into predictions mode for you lot. And you have got, 16 seconds we give you on the predictions. Get them up there on TikTok as well. How do you see this one going? Do us a favour as ever and stick the names of the teams with your predictions as well, so I don't just get a load of numbers. Who is getting promoted to the Championship? You can talk about extra time if you want. I don't like to talk about extra time because I'm not here for extra time. I'd like to go and have my dinner after 90 minutes of this one. But there you go. What are you going to do? Get your predictions in via the chat. You've got 16 seconds. Who is getting promoted to the Championship? Right, let's get some predictions there. Plenty up in the chat. Where shall we start here? Alessandro. Oxford on penalties. There you go. Alfie 2-1 Bolton. Tom 2-1 Oxford. Lee 2-1 Oxford. Give me both teams to score. Annie 1-1 Bolton on pens. We're not doing extra time on pens, are we? Surely not. Alex, we can talk about Roberto De Zerbi. At half time, if you like. I knew I was going to get asked about that. I did tweet about it, to be fair, so I brought it upon myself. Who am I supporting? Oscar, I support Ipswich Town, so I will say let the best team win in this one. Liam 3-2 Bolton, 2-1 Oxford after extra time. Nick is off to the League 2 final. That'll be tomorrow, won't it, between Crawley and Crewe. 5-4, I assume that's a penalty shootout prediction. 3-2 Oxford, 2-1 Bolton, 4-1 Bolton. Give me them goals. There's Whale with his 0-0. 0-0 Bolton, but I'm not sitting here for a 0-0 and penalty shootouts. We cannot have that, can we? 3-1 Oxford, 3-1 Bolton, 1-0 Oxford, 3-2 Oxford. Right, before we start, lovely tie. Bolton Wanderers tie. Lovely shade of dark blue there, the Wanderers colours they're worn by manager Ian Ever. I would love for you to give us a thumbs up. Obviously, it's Saturday afternoon. Maybe everyone's out with the family today, but only 15 likes so far. We can normally get ourselves up to 50 before kickoff. So you have got 9 seconds to hit that like button. Smash it, as the kids say on YouTube. If you're watching right now, give us a like. You've got 9 seconds. We call this a like spike. Get the hearts going on TikTok. I can see a few of them flying up there. Thank you in advance. Like spike time. Boom. Hit the like. There we go. Bang, crash, wallop as I put my bottle down on the desk. Thank you very minimum today is to chat and debate in the live stream. There you go. 31 likes. Tremendous stuff. Hit the thumbs up. If you really want to support, and there's no obligation to do so, you can support one of our sponsors, Match Bingo or Beer 52. You can give me a super chat, only if you can afford to, of course, or you can support regularly by hitting join or signing up over on Patreon, join our WhatsApp group, get early access to my tribal football columns. Obviously, that goes a bit quiet during the close season. And you can get involved in our roundtable discussions, which can't talk, great fun. Right, let's point my eyes over here to the monitor. We're about to kick off from Wembley League One playoff final. Let me stick a 0-0 in there. Hopefully it doesn't stay like that for long. I know you lot love goals. I love goals, and I tell you what I don't love, extra time. So let's hope we're not getting that. We've already kicked off. It is the League One playoff final between Bolton Wanderers and Oxford United. Away we go. Okay, let's do this. Oxford on the ball down the right-hand side with Long. Knocks it inside to Brannigan. Brannigan gets closed down. It's headed away by Ogbeta. And here come down the line, Bolton with Magoma. Big slide tackle there by Long. He's actually left one on Magoma, who's hit the deck there. And I think he might have caught his... What's he holding there? He's banging his his right leg against the floor. Was it a foul? Just catches him on the follow through, doesn't he? Interesting one, that one, especially in games with VAR. I know everyone will say, oh, he took the ball, Ben. But remember, you can take the ball and also foul your opponent. Don't know if VAR will have a look at that one. But Magoma has stayed down. Let's get some more predictions up here. Nick, did we read that one already? 3-1 Oxford, Dave 3-2 Bolton after extra time. Love it. Sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. Saga? Sorry if I have, mate. 1-0 Oxford. Magoma's still down, by the way, guys. 4-2. Love to see that. I once saw a playoff final that ended 4-2. Magoma, he looks okay. I think the doctors are just taking their precautions. 4-1 Gallo says. 2-0 Bolton. Some more alarm. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering anyone's name here. 2-1 Bolton. Zane, think I'm leaning Bolton. Like. This tastes like promotion. It certainly does for somebody. Our last time I watched Oxford at Wembley, they beat us 3-0 QPR. Stuff of nightmare. Remember Bolton in the Prem with JJ Kocher. What a player he was. Anir and Lee both super chatting there. Thank you so much. Those lads have probably super chatted 20, 30 times between them this season. Thank you so much. Both members on the Patreon or on the membership. I want to just get through all these predictions. Kyle, Collins and Charles, a brace between them. Lorcan, sorry, give me so many difficult names. 2-1 Bolton. Tom, 1-0 Bolton. Wayne, welcome to you, fella. Wayne always flies the flag for the channel, hitting the like button. Right, Magoma is okay. VAR wasn't interested in that follow through. Magoma is back in the game. Down that left-hand side, we would imagine, for Bolton. Oxford give that one away. I won't profess to be an expert, but I was told that Bolton went... I think Sam said it, actually, on the Championship Check-In podcast, that they went a bit more direct just to settle themselves into the game. They're known more as a passing side. And I can vouch for that. I saw Bolton a few times in the flesh last season under Ian Everett. Haven't seen them in the flesh this season, I must say. Steve, 3-1 Bolton. Annie, tons of stoppage time incoming. Yeah, you probably tack on. I mean, we normally get minimum of 1 minute in the first half. You can already tack on 2 or 3 for that stoppage for Magoma, and we'll no doubt get more in the first half. I think he's trying to tell me it's going to be a long day. As long as there's not extra time, my one-man campaign, I'm just keep saying it because we didn't get extra time in either of the Championship playoff semi-finals. Bloody hell, 4-0 and 3-0 there. Down the left comes Murphy for Oxford. And Jones there concedes the corner. Excuse me, or was it Cogley? I saw a 2, but it was a 12 on his back, not a 2. And Oxford, the big lads, coming up from the back. Moore and Brown, the 2 centre halves, are up. And we do get this beautiful hanging camera at Wembley, don't we? It makes you feel right on top of the action. Amazing coverage you get from the National Stadium. Corner goes short, in it comes left-footed. Ooh, not very convincingly dealt with there. He was in 2 minds on the back post, Owen Toyle. Didn't know whether to leave it or head it, and he kind of ended up half-heading it, which was neither nor. Welcome, mind blow. Andy Oxford sat in a very defensive manager against Posh, did really well. Main strength transition on their pace. Yeah, if you watched any of the semi-finals, do let us know. I was at the semi-final second leg last season between Barnsley and Bolton. I was at the League One final as well between Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley. Obviously, that would tell you Bolton didn't qualify for the final. Jack, not sure who wins. Hammer the over at 2.5 goals. I like that. Give me over 2.5 goals. We love goals, don't we? We're fairly easily pleased here on the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. And I'm fairly easily pleased because I went to, everybody ready for this, Gulliver's Dino Land in Milton Keynes with Enid and Shaylee this morning. It was bloody brilliant, I tell you. Enid loved it. And there's a little farm as well. And she got to say hi to all of the animals. She's getting a bit braver, but she will walk up to an animal with great confidence and then... proverbially soil herself and go, no, I'm not going near. But she's getting braver, bless her little angel. Dylan, supporting Oxford today purely for Greg Lee. Could I do this timestamp? Yeah, of course I can. Dylan. Yes, Liam, in your neck of the woods, my friend. Right, we'll give you all a timestamp. Sorry, I'm on Sky Sports Football Live HD. We're coming up 7 minutes. So set yourself up. I'll count you down 3, 2, 1 so you know exactly when it hits 7. Going to be at 7 minutes in 3, 2, 1, sync. There, remember, if you're watching on Now TV, Sky Go, any smart TV, anything through the internet, you're probably going to be a bit behind. Down the line it goes in the channel for Dion Charles to chase it. Charles yells at the service there, not terribly impressed with that ball down the line. A. Smith, how would you fancy other teams' chances of staying up? Should they go up? Great question. Let me know your takes on that over there in the chat. I'd fancy both of their chances to stay up on the basis of, especially Bolton. The manager's been in there a fair while and obviously they've come up from League Two with him, and continuity is vital in the Championship when let's be frank, there could be points deductions. Half of the league will sack their managers, although QPR fans and Sheffield Wednesday fans will tell me it's not the worst thing to sack your manager if you're bringing a high-quality manager like those teams did this season. Actually worked for a few teams down there. Sometimes it doesn't. Santos, big giveaway there. Here's a chance to counter-attack for Oxford. Goodrum knocked out wide. Here's Dale on the right wing. Cuts inside, worked out to the fullback, Long. Long tries to put the cross in. Blocked fairly easily by Josh Sheehan. He'll get very confused with Joe Sheehan, who manages the Ipswich Town Ladies, who we obviously cover on Blue Monday. Not like me to get anyone's name wrong, would it, eh? Fancy Bolton more than Oxford, not sold on Des Buckingham. I know George on Not the Top 20 loves it, doesn't it? Into the box come Oxford with Cam Brannigan. Couldn't quite get it out of his feet there. I feel like Oxford might struggle more than Bolton. Jensen, Argyle fan, think we are playing Bolton next year. Everett will undoubtedly be back, just like it was in League 1 and 2. Calm, as a Wednesday fan, I couldn't see us stand up with Darren Moore in charge. Cifuentes over Ainsworth. Would have gone down with the latter. Yeah. Love Gareth Ainsworth and the work he did at Wycombe, but yeah, it didn't really work out at QPR. Hopefully he can get back in somewhere and do some more great work like he did with Wycombe Wanderers. Foul by Ruben Rodriguez. And let's be honest, first 10 minutes, bit messy, guys, isn't it? Neither side, they've both been quite pragmatic, aren't they? They're playing the percentages here, not taking risks, which is understandable in tournament football. Excuse me. In a Wembley final. If you don't have strong financial backing, the Championship can be brutal. Amen. Amen to that one. The haves and have-nots, Ian, as we call them. Brannigan and Thompson. Having a bit of sledging between them. I'd fancy Cam Brannigan in the mouth stakes there, but I'd fancy Thomason in a boxing ring or a wrestling ring, UFC ring. Brannigan leaving one on... was that Magoma again? He's been smashed twice then so far. Who's the ref, lads? Let me look it up. Facts and figures. Referee Barrett, we wish him good luck and hope he's invisible and has a great game. There's a big diag in the channel. And yeah, Bolton, I think Sam Parkin, he's normally right, is right again that just first 15, 20 minutes, just going to go a little bit more direct than they will as they settle into the game. Des Buckingham, fair play. He's wearing a beautiful suit and a pair of trainers like Eric Cantona used to. Baseball cap as well, Cantona. You can do what you like when you can play football like Eric Cantona is, apart from jump in the crowd and literally assault somebody before anyone calls me out on that one. I say wear what you like. Nicely played into or out from the back by Bolton, but they've gone direct again. Heard Carl Robinson on TalkSport, had that on while I was doing me editing the other day, and he said with Salford, admittedly in League Two, don't play in your own half, and yeah, maybe in a cup final like this or tournament football. Same thing. Dylan, surprised Brannigan's still playing in League One. Yeah, I wonder why he never got a move to the Championship. Always puts up great numbers. And he's gone direct there. Interesting. Both sides just trying to hit the channels, even with their main playmakers. Long down the right. Little knock inside to Rodriguez. Rodriguez just got caught. It's going to be a free kick to Oxford United. Who was it caught him? Josh Sheehan. Didn't look like a yellow card to me. Definitely foul though on Rodriguez. Oh God, is Harry Kane going to go without a trophy again? Poor fella. Free kick to Oxford, 13 gone. I'm literally going to have to Google which Murphy that is. Josh, where's Jacob these days? Free kick. And it goes right-footed. Good delivery, that. Really good delivery. Into the back post. It's going to be a goal kick. Beautiful floated ball. It's not going to be a goal kick at all. Smashed out for a corner. Unless there's a flag gone up for any reason. Tug of the shirt, maybe. Still at the barcodes. Newcastle regular. There you go. Fair play. Regular watchers of the channel will know I struggle with the Jacob Josh Murphy paradigm. Doesn't help they look exactly the same, don't they? Although someone will tell me they don't look the same. But I'm not an expert. Oxford probably just on top in this first 15. Down the left comes the aforementioned Murphy, Josh. And that's given away. Chance for a Bolton counter-attack. Clear foul there by Goodrum. Bit of needle in this one. Lots of handsy behaviour and shoving after everything and mouthing off. Players very invested in getting whatever advantage they can today. Santos. Jones. Fed into the front. Oh, it's worked over. Shot driven in, left-footed by Ogbeta, who'd got himself all the way up into the box. First opening of the game, that, but easily blocked. Sheehan hits the shot right-footed. Ooh, keeper troubled by that. Didn't look like he fancied the shot from long range, Josh Sheehan. How much did this miss by? Ooh, not much. Good strike, that. We got the angle from behind the goal. I think the keeper's got it covered, but awkward one. Unorthodox shot, actually. Normally, you'd be looking to curl that in towards the far post. It just fades it away. Anybody asking up there on TikTok? No, I do not own the rights to show EFL football, but you can sign up with a company called Sky Sports who'll show you the game. If not, we're just chatting through it here. Santos there, wrestling with Harris. No foul given. Bolton just coming into the game now. Starting to move the ball about the back, although Santos is going to hit the channel again. He's a funny one, Santos. I don't want to be mean, but sometimes he looks very much like a League One defender. Sometimes he looks imperious with that massive power of his, but then he just completely booted that one out of the ground. Alfie, Norwich fan, and can still knit. There you go. And they came through at Norwich, didn't they, the Murphys? Eddie. We can talk about the open Brighton managerial job, which is stressing out all Ipswich Town fans at the moment, understandably. EFL just released a new fantasy game. That sounds fun. James, might take a look at that during the summer. I'm bloody terrible at fantasy games. You literally have to put in hours of work during the season. I used to like the days in the newspaper where you just submitted at the start of the season and that was it. No. Far more money to be made now. Toll. Clips that one out to Ogbeta. It's a good ball, actually. Slides it inside. Thomason. Sheehan. Bolton the better side the last 4 or 5 minutes. Sheehan. One by Oxford, looking to counter-attack. Goodrum landed on it, but Bolton back into shape. Nice and quickly. Great shout. Fantasy football is basically a part-time job. Agreed! Here is Charles for Bolton. Cogley on the overlap. Charles is cutting an angry figure, actually. Sky Sports just put up fewest touches in the game was Dion Charles. And again, he got played into the channel and had precious little to support there. I know his job is to finish the chances rather than make them, but a little bit isolated at the moment. Bayer Leverkusen. Did they go the whole season unbeaten then? That is ridiculous, isn't it? Well played. Cleared by Cumming, the Oxford keeper. Knocked over the top, and that's going to be an easy one to deal with for Jones. Tull knocks it inside to Santos. Oxford want no part of pressing the centre-backs. The trigger kicks in as soon as it goes out to the wing-backs. So essentially, if you think about it, Bolton playing 3 at the back. You've then got the 10 outfield players versus 7 outfield players. So you can see where the space is in terms of the Bolton centre-backs on the ball and where it's not in terms of further up the pitch. 51, undefeated. Unbelievable. Brown hoofs that one forward. Harris does well, actually. Takes it off Santos. Looking for the foul there. Santos leaning on him, inverted commas. No foul given. Makes the clearance. Headed down to Brannigan. Rodriguez gets it out of his feet. Knocks it into Harris. Big tackle by Santos. He got a bit of the man. Looked like he took the ball. And another foul on Magoma. Very tight, little bit niggly. Neither side's going to let the other have it for free, this one, are they? Which you'd want to see if you're a fan of either side. Come on, Oxford. Can't be asked with a trip to Bolton. There you go. Said all the Southern-based fans of Championship teams. Oh, cross-whipped goalwards. I wondered there. It was Ogbeta down the left-hand side. I wondered whether keeper might get a little bit caught out on that one. Coming. He gave the idea he had it covered, but we've seen them loop over and into the back of the net many times before, haven't we? Overhit cross, let's just say. The ball goes long into the front, headed away by Jones for Bolton. Swept up by Harris, as my Ring doorbell app tells me there's someone at my door, which immediately makes me think, what's my missus bought? Headed away by Toll for Bolton. It's going to be an Oxford throw. Which Long throws down the line. Brown wins the header and swept up in midfield by Magoma. And little bit of space now to break into. Goodrum, Harris. Knocked back into Long. Bolton 0, Oxford 0. Quarter of the way through. Cagey stuff, a bit niggly. Low on chances. High on tension, as ever. Rodriguez, nice feet. Into the 10. Hits the shot left-footed, but puts it wide of the post. Keeper not necessarily troubled by that one, Baxter. Nice step over. Beat his man easily there, didn't he? But yeah, that was never troubling the keeper at all. Can't wait for the Championship playoff final. Southampton fan there in the chat. Southampton versus Leeds next Sunday in the, what are we up to now? £10 billion game, whatever the press are going to call it. Toll. Again, Oxford pointedly refusing to press the ball when the Bolton centre-backs have got it. And this is where the bottleneck in this game is occurring, isn't it? They've obviously set up, rehearsed where all the passing lanes are out from the Bolton centre-backs, and Bolton are getting a bit confused by it, you have to say, and it's knocked into Santos, who just gives the ball away long. So at the moment, the tactical battle in terms of who's getting put off their game is being won by Oxford. Goes into the front and Brown fouls Dion Charles. And the free kick's taken quickly. Ogbeta down the left-hand side. In it goes, headed clear. Throw in to Oxford. Bolton, excuse me. Toll knocks that on to Sheehan. And back to Santos, who's probably had more touches than, I'm sure the stats will confirm, than any other player on the pitch. Seems to have the ball at his feet for most of it. Collins has come short. We barely mentioned him. Which says a lot in terms of where the game's been played. That don't think I've mentioned one of the Bolton strikers for the entire game. There you go. He's had a couple of touches just like that. And he's drawn another foul. I think Collins just saying to the Bolton centre-backs, look, I'll come short. Just fizz the ball into me if you can't find midfield, given how Oxford have set up. Comment of the day, Rick. Love your content, you absolute legend. How to get your comment? Read out, excuse me. Sheehan is going to take the free kick for Bolton. Just holds the ball above his head, whatever that signal means to the centre-backs or whoever's gone in. Santos has gone to the back post. Oxford hold the line on the edge of their box. .27 gone. Can I get first contact on this one? Bradley on TikTok says, means back post. It went short, but it has gone out to the back post now. I've better tried to keep it going. Headed out by Brown. Bit of a waste of a set play. And the Sky mic boom, or whoever's mic boom that is, has been knocked off its stand. Throw in for a Bolton. Luke, I hate the off-season. Make him sign a lifetime contract. There you go. Scary, scary. Is there any problem with having a highly rated manager, isn't it? Other teams would like your manager to manage their team. Ewan, Sunderland are the only team to have lost in a playoff final and still been promoted. Yes, Sunderland losing to Swindon in the early 90s, but because of certain financial irregularities. It's the second one I've fallen over today. Swindon were not promoted and Sunderland were. Toll to Santos. Jones. Mr. Jones and me. Santos out to Jones again. Nice little... the ball was knocked into Montgomery, who tried to flick it on. Collins couldn't hold it. And there is Cameron Jerome, who scored in the playoff final for Norwich City in 2015. Was that when Hoddle was at Swindon? I think it was just before. I think the Hoddle promotion was a couple of years later, wasn't it? Hoddle deciding to go and play for Swindon and play sweeper and take the P, basically. Because he was better than everybody else. Throw in to Oxford. And nice ball into the channel for Murphy on the left wing. Murphy comes in on his right foot. Murphy hits the shot, deflected and into the back of the net. Half an hour gone. I think it bounced in off Santos. He found himself a little bit of space in the box. Murphy hits the shot. The deflection is a killer. And will it be a killer goal for Oxford, who lead 1-0, and that's been Stan are heading to the Championship. Oxford 1, Bolton 0. Well, out of nowhere really, that one. Cogley just gets suckered in, doesn't he? But doesn't he get punished though? Murphy hits the shot. And Santos tries to get ahead on it, and he kills his keeper, doesn't he, with that one? It's not the best shot in the world. Keeper's definitely saving it, isn't he? Oop! Little eyebrows from Santos. Almost a shout that that's an own goal, isn't it? Santos shakes his head. And Oxford have the lead and are heading to the Championship. Mark Harris is down and having a concussion check. And I was going to say that's just what the game needed. But if you think about it, Oxford had kind of been set up to contain. What the game needed was probably Bolton to take the lead, wasn't it? But Oxford have the lead. They've been sitting in a little bit. And really, I was going to say a bit of quality from Murphy. Didn't have to do a lot. If you look, Cogley just stumbles there. It's not the best shot in the world, is it? It's definitely Santos's eyebrows on that makes the difference. And it's Bolton 0, Oxford 1. Let's have a look at your comments. Another day and another beautiful hair day for Benji. Oh, we love it. Worth. Done more than take. We're talking about Hoddle there. There we go. The game needed that as Bristol City found love for Oxford to go up on the Liam Manning Derby. Fancy Oxford. Well, let them have their moment, eh? Keeper is saving that without Santos, definitely was. Look like he's got his dive just right. Little flip and over his head it goes. Coming, Baxter in goal. Bolton 0, Oxford 1. And we'll see if they end up giving that as an own goal. I know the shot's on target, but let's be honest, if we were talking an offside, that would be considered a deliberate attempt to play the ball and a touch, wouldn't it? But let's call it Josh Murphy's goal. And it is Bolton 0, Oxford 1. Sky Bet gave it Murphy. I'm sure Ricardo Santos will agree with that assessment. There's one into the channel. Brown defends it well. It's going to be a corner for Bolton. Simple back to front there. Charles making the chase. Corner for Bolton, who in the next 57 minutes need to get themselves on the score sheet, else Oxford are heading to the Championship. Corner goes in near post. Cleared away. Sheehan, I thought he might have committed a foul there. And it has been pulled back. Rodriguez moaning, But he was just waiting to see what transpired, whether Oxford had an advantage. Good refereeing by Mr. Barrett. And Oxford can just kill a little bit of momentum there for Bolton after the goal. They'd come strong, forced to set play. Be good to see a new name in the Championship. A few people have had that thought. Bolton, remember, if they do lose this game, we'll be back-to-back playoff defeats. Got knocked out in the semis last year at Barnsley. They're in the final right now and they are behind. You can have a less wonky camera shot there on TikTok. My apologies. Magoma. Ogbeta. Back to Magoma. Santos. Nice football by Bolton. Sheehan. Jones. This is really good. Thomason pops it in low and he couldn't quite control it. Collins is the best football Bolton have played. Best football anybody's played today. Moved the ball really nicely there. Bit of fizz, bit of pace, accuracy. But foul again, and that'll allow Oxford, who are trying to manage this in... they're trying to control it in a slightly more defensive way. They've sat in, they've got the goal. And they won't be shy if there are restarts. Like that one, it was Thomason on Brannigan. To just try and blunt Bolton's momentum. Oxford, stating the bleeding obvious, they know clean sheet takes them to the Championship now. Bolton number 5 looks like Ledley King. He'll take that all day, I'll tell you. Leo, Oxford are heading to the Championship. Oh, yes, they are, as things stand. Thomason, closed down by Goodrum. Charles, closed down by Brannigan. Clever header by Brannigan. Into Bennett, who hoiks it forward. Powerful header by Santos there. And a foul by Goodrum. Here's Ogbeta on the left wing. Collins. Magoma. And cleared down the line. Lots of people have been asking. I'll talk about Brighton announcing that Roberto De Zerbi is going to be leaving at the end of the season. We'll talk about that at half time. Okay. Santos. Toll. Santos again. Another clash in midfield there. Rodriguez and Sheehan. It's been pretty stiff in there, hasn't it? Between Thomason, Magoma, Sheehan, Brannigan, Rodriguez, Goodrum. They've all put themselves about, haven't they? Clipped into the channel. Charles, who's run tirelessly so far, the Bolton striker. Ogbeta. Ogbeta into the box. He's going to have to come back this way. Nicely worked. Charles didn't get a good first touch. He still got it though. Charles pings the crossing. Good header and good positioning there on the near post. Sam Long had just dropped in. Vital header. Away. Surprised Brannigan is still at Oxford. Football head, you are not the first person to say that. Today always puts up good numbers down there in League One. Corner, Bolton. Sheehan puts it in. Don't touch that. It's going all the way out. He gets a shout long from Cumming in goal. Would love Brannigan at Wednesday or Collins. Depends who doesn't go up. Indeed. And the Wednesday fans will know from last season, having encountered these players in League One, who the star men are. Magoma there, had like a 50p in midfield. I think he was trying to head it down the line. It went behind him in the end, didn't it? Oh, there's one through the middle there. In again, Oxford. And it is 2-0. My goodness me. It's Murphy once again. They've barely had 2 chances and they are now 2-0 up. Oxford, Josh Murphy is on a playoff final hat-trick. It's going perfectly for Oxford. It is going terribly for Bolton. Bolton 0, Oxford 2. Wembley hat-trick incoming maybe for Murphy. Championship incoming maybe for Oxford. Wow. This is an absolute nightmare for Bolton, isn't it? The ball is just bouncing about in central midfield. It's just lofted over the top by, there's no possession, there's no territory, nothing in the build-up. It's just bouncing about. And the run from, so Murphy's playing on the left wing, obviously, and he comes across into the centre, makes the run. I mean, he takes the goal really, really well, but let me just bring the stats up. Yeah, 2 shots, 2 goals. They've just absolutely been clinical. 2 chances, both fallen to Murphy. Deflection on the first one, took it in. And, I mean, wow. Couldn't have gone any better given they've essentially just sat in, come out twice and scored twice, haven't they, Oxford? Unbelievable stuff. Mountain to climb for Bolton Wanderers now. And what do? You can't go all-out attack and potentially get picked off again. Bit shell-shocked by that. This is not a 2-0 game. I mean, let's be fair. Bolton have created very little themselves, but there's been no chances in the game virtually. And it's 2-0. It's just not, doesn't feel like a 2-0 game, does it? But fair play, Oxford. They're playing an absolute blinder here, aren't they? Let me bring the shot map up. You'll laugh at the shot map, I tell you. You really, really will. As Cogley comes down the right-hand side. Sorry, my computer's on a go slow. In fact, it hasn't updated. We haven't got the second goal up. You'll find it funnier when the second goals come up there. You won't find it funny if you're a Bolton fan because you'll be thinking, how on earth am my side 2-0 down in this one? But you've got to play them their penalty boxes, haven't you? You really, really do. There's one knocked forward. Swept up by Baxter, and it's a bit of a nightmare first half this for Ian Evett and the Bolton Wanderers. Although here is Collins down the left. We're into first half stoppage time. Collins comes inside, runs into traffic. Surely he can pick that up, can't he? It's not going to be a back pass, just waiting for the confirmation from the ref. And it is indeed picked up by Baxter. There's the next question. Playoff final hat-tricks. Remember, I'm only championship guy, but obviously Clive Mendonca, Scott Sinclair. Are they the only two championship playoff final hat-tricks? You tell me. Sorry, just struggling with me earpiece there. Right, let me bring that shot map up. Look at that. Absolute killer. One from outside the box and the other two, they've scored from both of them. Wow. Here is Jones for Bolton. They've got to stay calm. 5 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. We've played 90 seconds already. Inside it goes to Thomason. Thomason, nice feed. Doesn't quite fall for Magoma. Good strike from the edge of the box. I think it was Thomason again. Well blocked. Keeper was flinging himself across the goal. Clinical is definitely the word. Well, I can't disagree with that. Well played, Oxford. They're playing a blinder here. It's gone perfectly for them. They've sat in, haven't pressed the centre-backs. Been in the penalty box a couple of times and scored twice, haven't they? Wow. What a shocker. Josh Murphy on a playoff final hat-trick. By the way, Ruben Rodriguez has been given both the assists. So he's also on a playoff final assist hat-trick down at Wembley. Welcome, Matty. Another one of our members. You can get signed up down there, support the channel. Rodriguez holds it up. Oxford just trying to see their way to half-time. Here's Brannigan. Little dribble there from Dale. Couldn't quite have the final ball there. Ran all the way through to Baxter, who cleared long. Sheehan boots that forward, and surely the flag would have gone up against Collins, but he steps back, and it's headed home by Long as we come up 49 minutes. And Sky have just flashed up that Bolton, it should be on your crawler down the bottom there as well, that Bolton obviously beat Oxford 5-0 not very long ago either. I think the other game this season was 0-0. There you go, it's now coming up on the screen. 0-0, 28th of November. And the 5-0, 12th of March. March, April, May. Less than 3 months ago, or sorry, slightly over 3 months ago. Bolton, 64% on the possession, but I've only created a 0.09 XG. Tells you everything you need to know. Amen, Blagger in the chat, doesn't it? It tells you it's where you have your possession and what you do with it that's the really important thing. If you're not making any chances. Here's Goodrum, comes to the edge of the box, hits a really tame shot, just ran out of gas. Didn't Jermaine Beckford score a hat-trick in the play? He may have, Shay. I'm only really up with the Championship playoff finals. Well, I've been to a couple of League One playoff finals as well. Saw Rotherham beat Shrewsbury in 2019. Last season I saw... actually, I've been to a few. I saw Sunderland beat Wycombe as well. It's half-time, by the way. The whistle has gone. Sunderland beat Wycombe. What was that, 2-0 in the end? And what happened last season? Sheffield Wednesday beat Barnsley in the 123rd minute. This one doesn't feel like it's going to go to the 123rd minute because at half-time, it's Bolton 0, Oxford 2. And really, the story of that half is you've got to doff your cap to Des Buckingham and Buckingham. I'm falling over words left and right today. I need a coffee. We'll talk about De Zerbi in a minute after this. But what was I saying? Yeah, Oxford just kind of set up to sit back, and we saw this pattern repeated of the three Bolton centre-backs having the ball, knocking it about, no press. And then they've just picked them off twice in the 31st and 42nd minute. And let me just bring the numbers up so you can see what they say for my eye test. Look, 37% possession for Oxford. And look at the shot map as well. That Goodrum chance there, you can see, just went right at the end of the first half. But it felt like Murphy got the first goal, and that felt like, oh, that's their first chance. And then on the second goal, it felt like, oh my God, they've literally had two attacks and picked them off twice. But Murphy is on a playoff final hat-trick. And as things stand, it's third versus fifth here. It's going to be fifth place Oxford joining the championship. Let me know your comments. And let me just do a little copy and paste here because I need this on the other screen. Right. I've been asked lots and lots during the first half and on Twitter as well to talk about the Brighton manager, Roberto De Zerbi. I mean, obviously, as an Ipswich Town fan, we have a dog in the fight here. And when you see the odds for who's going to replace Roberto De Zerbi, you'll see why. But the news is that after tomorrow's round 38 Premier League game, between Brighton and Manchester United, Roberto De Zerbi will be leaving Brighton. And obviously, our focus here is not massively going to be on where Roberto De Zerbi is going to be going, but who might be replacing Roberto De Zerbi. Let me have a look just on the Brighton website there. This is Tony Bloom. Roberto has given us 2 excellent seasons of service, which has led the club to new heights, not least our first ever European campaign. Blah de blah, best wishes, good send-off. Roberto De Zerbi said, I'm very sad to be leaving Brighton, very proud of what my players and staff have done. Looks like all his staff are going with him as well. We've agreed to end my time so that the club and I can continue to work in the way that suits each of us best. There you go. So, as I say, I think a few people in the chat were talking about De Zerbi going off to Italy. Obviously, the Manchester United job may be coming up. The West Ham job, we think that one's all done and dusted, don't we? And the Liverpool job, that one's all done and dusted. But the Brighton job is now open. And let's address the elephant in the room, because I am an Ipswich Town fan, which is why people want my opinion on this. And if we head over to our lovely friends at, and this is shortened even since I copied and pasted the address in. There you go. Next permanent Brighton manager, the favourite, the clear favourite, Kieran McKenna, 5-2. Let me just zoom in. In fact, let me just do it like this. One sec, guys, and you'll be able to read that better on the screen. Is it going to let me? There you go. Hopefully you can see that better. Kieran McKenna 5-2. Francesco Farioli, Russell Martin, Vincent Kompany, all 5-1. Graham Potter, Liam Rossinia, all, or rather both, 8-1. Now, I always say this. Remember, betting odds reflect a liability, not a probability. So just because something's a short odds doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. It means that a lot of people have bet on it. And they might have bet on it because it might happen. But they might have bet on it because they think it's good value, and it might not happen. And conversely, someone being long odds doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means people haven't bet on it, and the bookies are happy to take a liability. But there is no smoke without fire. I think this has been one that all Ipswich fans have had an eye on most of the season, really. And McKenna's stock was obviously high going into this season after the promotion from League One. But it's ridiculously high now because not only has he stabilised Ipswich in the Championship, he's literally just missed it out and finished in second position. Hence why his name is going to be at the top of this list and this right in the conversation. And I mean, I'm trying to think, since Brighton got up, obviously Chris Hughton took Brighton up, didn't he? And then Hughton kept Brighton up, and then there was this switch where, and I think a few people were a bit, kind of outraged about it at the time. You got Chris Hughton, who's a kind of, great manager at Championship level, but was considered a pragmatic defensive manager by Norwich fans, even though he kept Norwich in the Premier League, and by maybe some Brighton fans as well. And who did they take? It was Graham Potter from Swansea. And if your argument is going to be Brighton wouldn't take someone out of the Championship, yes, they would, because obviously they took Graham Potter. And someone will correct me in the chat. I think Potter was he like 10th or 11th or something with Swansea? I think it was only their one season. Year one parachute season as well, wasn't it? 18-19. And Brighton took Potter. And he took Brighton to even better heights, as they've said on their website there. And then Potter went off to do the Chelsea job, didn't he? And Brighton took Roberto De Zerbi. And here we are with the Brighton job open. And let me just address Kieran McKenna, because it's hard to have a sensible conversation about this because there's a lot of emotion gets involved. And what you'll find is, if you speak to an emotional Ipswich Town fan, and I'll try not to be one. I can be an Ipswich Town fan, but I'll try and not be an emotionally led one. What they'll do is they'll go with the emotional lead, and their emotions will tell them, I don't want Kieran McKenna to leave Ipswich. He's really good. And then that will then dictate their reasoning. Oh, McKenna won't do this. He won't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And you can go down that road if you want, but let's be honest, that has absolutely no bearing on what's actually going to happen, because all that really matters is, what is Kieran McKenna thinking? And is he thinking, is the opportunity better, assuming he talks to Brighton or gets offered the Brighton job or whatever, is the opportunity better at Ipswich or at Brighton? And you can have a debate about that. You can argue it either way. People will argue it whichever way suits their narrative or their emotional needs. Doesn't matter. It's up to Kieran McKenna, doesn't it? And Kieran McKenna might think the opportunity at Ipswich to continue the work, take them into the Premier League and try and establish them, having managed them in League One and finished 11th in League One at the end of, was it 11th? I think it was, the first campaign. Does he want to continue the work there with Game Changer, the ownership, and try and move things on? Or at a very young age, he's not even 40, is he, McKenna? He's like 37 or something. I can't remember what age McKenna is. He's a very young manager. Or does he feel, okay, I've had a go at Ipswich. Might be hard to stay in the Premier League next season. And Brighton are established and really good club. Great recruitment, great squad, all of that, blah, blah, blah. and I'll make the step. And yeah, be my guest. You can argue it would be better to stay with Ipswich. You can argue it would be better to stay with Brighton. You're not right. You're not wrong. It's not relevant. What does Kieran McKenna think? And I guess we're going to find out and be interested to see what Brighton fans think. You know, would they be interested in him being their manager? I can't think of a hotter manager in English football at the moment at McKenna's age that has just won back-to-back promotions and is now a Premier League manager. Be interested to see what Ipswich fans think. And again, if you are an Ipswich fan, it's about not being emotional, not being defensive. Because if you're emotional and defensive, you'll think of every reason under the sun why McKenna does not want to go and manage, frankly, an excellent club like Brighton, who, let me just bring a Premier League table up here on my iPad, who are 10th. And they're not going to finish any higher than 10th. But it's a top half established Premier League club who's had European football this season. So there you go. This is going to rumble now. We know that the Brighton job is open. I'm sure there's plenty of comments coming, but we're at half-time in the playoff final here for League One, so I'm not going to be able to read all of them out. I'll read some of them in the second half and certainly put them up on the screen because I want to go and get a coffee. But what we will do is we will clip this out and you can get your comments in. I suppose you want my opinion before we go. And let's be honest, this is an opinion on another human being's hunch. And I don't know what Kieran McKenna is going to do. All I will say is you would think it would be silly of Kieran McKenna, unless he's totally got his mind made up and he's totally invested, you would think his agent will at least talk to Brighton and see what they're going to say. And you'll see where the conversation goes. He might think it's too early to go. He might think it's exactly the right time to go. We are going to find out, and it's going to run and rumble. Get your thoughts in via the comments. We'll clip that one out, as I said, on YouTube as a separate thing. And I'll get to the comments here in the live chat. But what I do need to do is quickly go and make a coffee before we start the second half here in the League One playoff final. I will be right back. It's all going to go a little bit blank there on TikTok, but I will be back in 3 minutes and 49 seconds, hopefully quicker, for the second half here in the League One playoff final. There we go. Let's dive right in. Sorry, the halftime spiel went on, and we are into the second half already. In fact, we've played 1 minute and 20 seconds of it. Apologies about that. I went longer than I thought I wanted to. And we are back in the second half. Look, I'm all rattled as well. I need to put that back up on the screen and that as well. Thank you for all your comments. I see loads of them and I didn't get to read any of them out. Maybe wait and I'll clip that one up and we'll stick that up later on. As the yellow card comes out for Jones, the Bolton right-sided centre-back. Cheers, everybody, by the way. I hate having that plug in shot there. Messy, messy, messy. It's gone, as if by magic. Gethin Jones, yellow carded. Lorraine, I'm from Oxford on TikTok. You'll be a happy bunny then, won't you, my dear? Magoma is down, and he pulled his shirt up above his face there, which, call me amateur psychologist, could mean he's an unhappy bunny. Yeah, he looks furious. I think he's out of the game. Doesn't look a happy chappy. Remember Magoma got smacked, didn't he, early on in the game. Can't remember who hit him. Really early in the game. Maybe Long, the right back for Oxford, who lead 2-0, by the way. And are heading to the Championship. Sorry, let me put this back on FootMob. By the way, we're having a stoppage, which should give an opportunity to do a like spike. Looks like Magoma's done. Bless him. What a nightmare. Remember, League One players don't get that many opportunities to play at Wembley Stadium. So we have to have empathy for lads who get there and get hurt and have to be subbed out. Carl Dempsey is on. Or coming on, rather. Should we do a bit of a like spike whilst this substitution is all being done? We've got 85 likes over on YouTube. If you're watching right now here or on the feed up on TikTok, then give us the hearts up there. Give us a like spike on YouTube. I've timed this badly because I think the free kick's now about to be taken. So we're going to hold that thought as Brannigan floats it in. Dempsey heads it away, gets his first touch immediately in the game. Oxford trying to keep it alive, and it's hoof clear, which means we can go like spike time. Everybody hit the like button. You've got 9 seconds. Go. Thank you, everybody, for your support. As Bennett wins the free kick there for Oxford, who are probably going to attempt to see the second half out in much the same way they did the first, you know, sort of sit in, make themselves hard to play against and take literally all their chances. There's one in the channel for Dempsey to chase down. Brown, I think he might have won the throw-in as well. Gets there in front and gets rid. Look at that, Lee. A member for 3 months now. Muchly appreciated. Come on, Oxford, he says. FM, I'd be delighted for Oxford. Used to live there for 6 years. Bounced around League 2 and the National League. Used to live on the site of the Manor Ground. Very nice. It's been forever. Well, they're most of the way there. Only 40 minutes to go. And they have a 2-0 lead. And basically, Bolton have created nothing, have they? 0.12 on their XG. But here they come down the left-hand side. Thomason's into the box. Thomason tries to cross. Handball shout. VAR is going to have a look at that for sure. The corner's given. And referee Barrett looks or puts his hand to his ear. Ooh, that might be a penalty. He's got his elbow to his side more. Kind of hits the arm. I wonder whether that might get given or whether they might feel the arm's in a natural position. No, the corner's taken. So arm in natural position there, close enough to his body. I did wonder for a second, but not given. Murphy on the break, who's on the playoff final hat-trick, of course. He cannot shift that one wide. And here come Bolton again. Exciting start to the second half. Paul, next goal, all important. If Bolton get it, game on. Agreed. Here comes Sheehan for Bolton. Got the bit between their teeth. Played out wide to Cogley. Tries to get the cross in. And remember, I don't say remember, I haven't mentioned it, but both sets of fans are now having their teams kick towards them in the second half. And it can become a lonely place defending, surrounded by big swathes of supporters of the opponent's team. Got to remember being sat in the Luton end when Coventry got their equaliser up the end with all the Coventry fans. Man, the noise. God, when Sheffield Wednesday scored last season as well. Jeez. That was loud. You can always feel it more when you're in the other end, can't you? And the sound just hits you. Not that Wembley's actually that massively loud, especially not when you split it in half. Corner to Bolton, won by Dempsey. They've got the bit between their teeth. Can they grab the equaliser? In comes the corner. Doesn't even make it onto the pitch there. Hits the roof of the net from Ogbeta. .53 on the clock. Ian Everett giving it the think, concentrate. Again, look, 65% possession in the second half, but Bolton have had the possession throughout the game and haven't managed to leverage it into making chances. Let's be fair, Oxford have barely had any chances, but they've smashed both of those into the back of the net, haven't they? Big header away by Moore. Jones returns it. That's going to go out and be an Oxford throw. Every minute that ticks down now works in Oxford United's favour. They are 2-0 up, 54-23 on the clock. Rodriguez. Not back into Long. Silly foul by Collins, who was wrong side and just bumped into the back. Won't lie, Ben. Big fan of the jumper. Well, very apt today because, as I said, we were at Gulliver's Dinosaur Land with Enid this morning. So I thought the dinosaur jumper was appropriate. She loves it. She loves it. Bless her. By the way, sorry, I didn't thank you guys for the most recent like spike. Which has taken us up on YouTube to 110 likes. You guys are the absolute best, aren't you? Free kick sails in. It's a dreadful delivery. And it's going to be a Bolton goal kick. It was Murphy who completely overhit it. Let's go Des, says the Hustlers. Des Buckingham is having a good day. The Oxford manager is 2-0 up. 111 on the likes, Beeline. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate your support. Hit the thumbs up button. Keep that chat going. That's the minimum. If you want to support via Super Chat or hitting the join button, you can support financially as well. But there is no obligation to do so. Only do that if you can afford it, if you're in a position to. It does really help us out. But the minimum, like I say, just Keep the chat moving and hit the like button. Here they come again, Oxford. Murphy for the hat-trick. Hits the shot across goal. Doesn't miss by much. Wow. I think the keeper leaves it in the end. He was on the right foot. Made the run through the middle again, Josh Murphy. Defender does well to drag him wide. I do think... was it Jones with him? I do think, yeah, keeper leaves that one. He's got his angles correct. And Murphy cannot take the chance and get the playoff final hat-trick to join a very select number there. Here comes Ogbeta. Poked away from him. It's a foul, clearly by Toll. Close to a yellow card foul, that one, but I think he managed to just take his arms away at the vital point there. Owen Dale. Come on, Oxford. Plymouth wants you in the Championship. Is it a shorter journey? Although there are no short journeys from Plymouth, are there? 2 hours just to get to Bristol, right? Which game am I covering tomorrow in the Premier? I think I'll have the day off tomorrow, but head over on Match Bingo where you can play along for a £2,000 prize pot tomorrow with the game between Arsenal and Everton, if you do choose to do so. Please make sure that they know we sent you, our wonderful sponsors at Match Bingo, and you can do that by following this there. How do I point both hands inwards? There's that one. Where's that one? It's harder than it looks at this angle. I need to stretch my arms right out. You can see the QR code for God's sake anyway, can't you? There you go. We've got an injury hold here. Brannigan is down. 58:30 on the clock. Brannigan, I'm sure, will continue. He's just having an energy gel and walking gingerly to the touchline. Remember, stack up this stoppage time for the end of the game. It might mean nothing, but if Bolton have got one back, it could mean a hell of a lot. 5 minutes, I think, in the first half, so there's been plenty already. Goal kick fired forward, rather free kick by Cumming, which I assume will give Brannigan a chance to come back into the game. And Sheehan has got it. And Bolton are just going to think they didn't turn up in the first half of this one. I remember doing was it Blackpool and Lincoln during COVID, that final on the watch along, and I think it just got away from Lincoln in that one, didn't it? Bang, bang. Similar story, perhaps, today. Sheehan. Ogbeta. In comes the cross. Good covering header. It's on the edge of the box. Sheehan's picked it up. Thomason. Ogbeta. Can he get another cross in? He's tried to dribble. Bounces back to Thomason. Thomason crosses left-footed to the back stick. And Bennett takes no chances. Heads it out. I think it might have already been out of play. Bolton have scored 121 goals this season. 0 shots on target today. Not the day to not show up if you've been banging the goals in all season. 121, is that really true? Feels like an excessively high number of goals. Looks like we're going to get a triple sub from Bolton. We just ticked over the hour mark. And Ian Everett has got to go for it. He needs a goal and he needs it quickly. Sheehan back into Santos. Jones. Dacres Cogley. Dempsey. Cogley. Oh, puts the cross in. Thomason got in there from central midfield. Heads it over the bar. Defence all touch tight. Did Long get there first? I think he did, actually. Apologise to Thomason. He doesn't head it over the bar at all. Brannigan is down again. And remember, he was treated a minute ago. Love the drama of the playoffs and they're here to stay, but team finishes third, always deserves to go up. No, Paul. You have to finish second to automatically go up. And you have the privilege of competing in the playoffs if you finish third. Because you weren't good enough to finish in the top two. That is the deal. And it looks like the deal for Cameron Brannigan is he's going out of the game. He holds his head too. Similar scenes to Magoma a few minutes ago where the disappointment is palpable of a player not wanting to leave the game. You work your life to get to play at Wembley. And it's all over for Brannigan. So Brannigan is out and Marcus McGuane is in. Ipswich will sign Sheaf. That'll cost them. Corner, Bolton. Put in by Ogbeta, headed out on the back stick. It's going to be loads of stoppage time at the end of this one. Just a reminder of that. McGuane clears, and here comes Murphy. They're counter-attacking again. Murphy's got the pace. He's through. Murphy, good save. My goodness me. He's had 2 chances in the second half. They're playing on the counter to get the hat-trick. That was a much better chance than the first one he had this half, if you get my drift. He did so well, didn't he? Carried the ball from inside his own half. He was the final man as well. Can't be offside if you're inside your own half. Just ran out of gas, didn't he? Bad touch running into the box. Just wanted to set down his right foot. Goes for the dink. Keeper saves well. Monco agreed on TikTok. Do I think Bolton can get back into the game? It's not looking like it at the moment, isn't it? And Oxford are having the chances on the break. It's going to open up. In comes Cameron Jerome. Dion Charles looks very, very disappointed with his playoff final experience. Adebiejo and Iredale are also coming in. Charles, Ogbeta and Sheehan all stepping out of the game. Hail Mary, really, it feels like it. For Bolton. Corner comes into the back post. Long wins the header. Out it goes. Goal kick. This one comes up quite a lot. Team finishing third should play third bottom from the division above. I just can't get on board with that. That seems way less fair than the current system. I think if we're going to have league systems, then you play against the teams in your league, and if you're good enough against them, you go up. And similarly, if you're not good enough, you shouldn't play against a team in a different division. That feels much less fair than third place playing against a team that finished 4 place below them. But all opinions are allowed. If you think that's the best way, who am I to tell you otherwise? My opinion does not concur, though. Did actually happen, didn't it, in the 80s? And I think it's a good reason they got rid of it. Good old Ipswich managed to lose one of them, hey? Yeah, the Prem team would win every time. And yeah, in our current ridiculous system, where there's massive gaps between the... I'm sure the Premier League teams would vote for that for sure, wouldn't they? They'd love that. Reduce relegation potentially to only 2 teams, wouldn't it? But yeah, not for me, I'm afraid. Feels like the only chance for a lot of teams, the playoffs, doesn't it? Given the cliff edges. Crossed by Jones, too much on that. Out it goes. Time is a ticking down. We're coming up 70 minutes, and this is getting away from Bolton Wanderers. Who's holding crutches there? Is that Magoma? Wow. Magoma obviously starting the game for Bolton, subbed out of it. McGuane, not a nice tackle, that one. It's Dempsey, yellow card rightly brought out by referee Barrett. McGuane had done him, got away from him, and yeah, swipes at him. Oof, don't like that. Rightly booked. Kyle Dempsey, the substitute. Sorry, my iPad needs some charge. If anyone wants to donate me anything, not that you have to, can you buy me like 85 charging leads so everything in this room can all go on charge at the same time while we're broadcasting? It's a blooming nightmare. Everyone's trying to rewrite the playoff system. Ain't broke to me. I've got no problems with the current playoff system. The only problem I had is away goals. I thought that was so unfair that the team in third was essentially penalised because the team in third and fourth and the teams in fifth and sixth would be playing away second and would have an extra 30 minutes. But, you know, I think we've got enough advantage for the teams finishing higher now without the away goals and the home leg. Now you've got an extra 30 minutes at home rather than panicking that you can concede an away goal. But I think playoff system's brilliant. And I wouldn't change it. Dempsey knocks that one back into Toll. Santos. Bolton need to make something happen real quick, don't they? Thomason. Collins. Collins gets into the box, hits the shot. Oh, there's going to be a penalty shout there. Who hit the deck then? It was Cogley. Bolton are going to continue the attack with Collins. Collins puts the cross in. It's a poor cross by Collins. They have had no... We talked about Oxford being clinical in the first half. Bolton have had some, final third entries and, chances to get good crosses in, and they have not taken them. First 5 minutes, I knew Bolton will lose. Okay, Oxford have played this perfectly so far. Yeah, well, perfectly. They'd be three up with those 2 chances from Murphy, but I totally get what you're saying. And here, their plan is working. hoiked forward by Long, the right back. Oh, goodness me. We got trouble here. The yellow card has come out. Baxter, the keeper, comes right to the edge of his box there. Cogley wants him to come and get the ball. He's got his arms out. Ooh, is that inside the box? I think it's just outside, isn't it? Really interesting one. He's got 1 foot inside the box. Are they going to have to... here's a good angle. Because that's a penalty, obviously, if it's inside the box. That is so close. You tell me, is that in or outside the box? He's inside, I think, when he hits it. I think that's going to be a penalty. Yeah, he's inside. I think Oxford... Oh, no. Have we heard? Looks like one of the players just... I think if they had judged it's just outside... That was so close, wasn't it? Looked like his thigh possibly hit him. Remember, if it's on the line, it's inside the box. They've got away with one there, Bolton, haven't they? That would have been 3-0. Goodness me. Obviously, not an obvious goal-scoring opportunity there. Everyone starts crying whenever a keeper commits a foul, but they're not all red cards. Anyway, free kick right on the edge of the box. So close, that. Oh, it's shot goalwards, and Baxter makes the save. Borderline penno there. Hello, Rich. Really stupid by the defender. It was, wasn't it? Clear your lines. Don't unless the keeper is yelling in your ear, keeper's ball. And even then, sometimes if it's in your hands, just deal with it. Stick it out of play and take the corner. In comes another corner for Oxford. And they've cleared their lines. That's in the box, says Lee. It was really, really close. Wasn't it? Really, really close. And it's so difficult, unless you've got an angle looking right down the line of the penalty box. Can you really judge it from a diagonal? Certainly wouldn't have been surprised to see that given, but let's respect the subjectivity. And I say that obviously, whether it's in or outside the box is objective, but it's an opinion if you've only got a camera angle to look at, isn't it? I mean, my God, that's subjective. A subjective call on an objective fact. Goodness me. Keeper was about 2 feet in the box. He's coming from inside the box. It's not that simple, is it, Lee? Because both players are going outside the box with their trajectory, and it's where does he foul him? I thought it might have been a penalty, actually. Looked like the thigh hit, certainly on the line, which would be a penalty, obviously, wouldn't it? Crossed into the near post by Adebayo. Cleared. Out of the garden, Rich, for the final 20. Oxford have... If you had your game plan and you were judging it against evidence, you would say, perfect. Sit back, score. Sit back, score. That's what they did in the first half. And they've sat back and had another couple of chances in this half. I'm just going to reconnect my camera. Let me just lean out of shot and give you terrible sound for a minute. Reconnect my light. And put my iPad down there, 14%. That should get me to the end of this. Unless there is extra time. But we would get quite the dramatic finish. You can tell I've had a coffee. God. Excuse me. If we were going to get extra time. I know we're probably going to get 8 to 10 minutes stoppage time, given the Brannigan went down twice before he got subbed out. There's a switch of play. Cogley, who's gone over to play on the left-hand side now. Jones up in the box. Oh, it's going to be another yellow card come out now for Thomason. Poor old McGuane has been macheted twice by the midfielders of Bolton since he's come on. He's just been too sharp for them, hasn't he? Don't really think they've got a leg to stand on with their complaints there. They've both been yellow cards, haven't they? For sure. Stephen, you absolute bloody legend. Charlton fan, living near Ipswich. Did not get a chance to say before, but thanks to you and the Blue Monday guys for all you do. All the best to town. £5 on the super chat. Should probably split that with the Blue Monday lads, shouldn't I? Thank you so much, Stephen. Very, very kind. Thomason said a naughty word. Oh, they've been at it all game, Rich, those central midfielders. I remember VAR is there to correct a clear and obvious error. Yeah, well, that's a fair comment, isn't it? Yeah, if I can't tell on a replay, then it's definitely not a clear and obvious error. Is it? Inside, outside, USA. This is just slipping away from Bolton, isn't it? Oxford have managed it very nicely. If they continue to do so, they'll be joining the Championship. And we'll be speaking about them on the Championship Check-In podcast every week. In the next, I'm not going to say 13 minutes, because it's probably going to be more like 20. Ben, can Rich come on the next round table? Of course he can, Dave. It's a big diag to Cogley. Sorry, just to clear that up. When Iredale came on down the right-hand side, Cogley switched side. Foot race here with Santos, who's treading water there. Harris does well. Santos gets back and blocks him. Harris has gone down. Presumably Santos trod on his foot. And we're going to have to stop play again. There is going to be so much stoppage time. Poor old Santos didn't like the look of that foot race, did he, against Mark Harris. Just got his body in the way. Come on, you yellows. Come on, you yellows. Oxford, very, very close. When is the next round table? We'll do it after the season's finished, Lee, and get everybody's reflection. So wait for the playoff final to take place. If you want to join us on the round table there, hit the join button or join up over on Patreon. And this looks like we're going to get a defensive sub for Oxford. Rodriguez is going to come out. It's not really, sorry. McEachran's going to come in. Rodriguez, I guess, a bit more of an attacking midfield present. McEachran, I guess, just going to sit in there and try and keep the ball. As we come up 80 minutes, I'm certain we're going to get at least 8 minutes of stoppage time, aren't we? So Bolton, nice little flick on. He's on safari again. Backs to the Bolton keeper. And they couldn't capitalise. He's had a couple of interesting safaris out to the left-hand side to his penalty box. Ben, Oxford may do Ipswich 2 promotions. It's hard. It's going to be hard. I doubt we hadn't seen that for 13, 14 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it was another 13, 14 years before we see it again. Well won in the corner there. Harris keeps it alive. Well, he doesn't keep it alive, sorry. He plays the next ball on. Here comes Long. Can Long find Murphy on the back stick? Yes, he can. Murphy heads goalwards. He has had chances for the hat-trick, hasn't he? My goodness me. Do I think Oxford will do well in the Championship? They'll have to recruit well. Continuity will be good, though. Seems like they've got a good manager, but every team that goes up has got a good manager. Bad managers don't tend to get promoted, do they? There's a big diag by Santos. Nice take by Cogley. Cogley wants to go on the right foot. Nice cross by Cogley. Jerome is up. Couldn't get his head on it. Or did he? Brown was touched tight. Jerome holds his head. If he did get his head on it, that was a decent chance. Right at the peak of his jump, wasn't he, Jerome? Just got underneath it. Maybe Brown jumping ahead of him put him off. We're into the last 10 minutes now. 81-49 on the clock. Bolton have got a push now. Adebayo onto Dempsey. Wasn't a great ball, was it? Completely underhit it. And McEachran knocks that into McGuane. And Oxford, can they get the third goal on the counter-attack now? Bolton are just going to have to kitchen sink it for the last 10 minutes, aren't they? So we could get another goal in this game. Something's gone wrong if we don't. Either Bolton's Hail Mary or Oxford's counter-attacking, because this should be open. Bennett. Goodrum. Big clearance by Cumming. They're taking no chances now, Oxford. Just get the ball ahead of you, stay in shape, keep the clean sheet, win the game, get promoted, all of that stuff, yeah? Here comes Jones down the right for Bolton. Can he get a cross in? No. Bennett marshals him down the line, but he does win a corner. They need a goal, and they need one quickly. It's a corner for Bolton Wanderers. They've got a bit more size now with Jerome and Adebayo on. Obviously, Toll and Jones and Santos. Santos is the biggest guy out of all of them, isn't it? In comes the corner from Iredale. Ooh, it was a good delivery, that, wasn't it? Referee had no idea who that came off. I think he waited for a word in his ear on that one, allegedly. Got it right, though, didn't they? Who's out on the near post? Harris, the striker, got his head on it. Another corner for Bolton. And it goes under the bar. Dempsey's there. I think Dempsey's jumped into the back of Moore, who goes down and guarantees we're going to get even more stoppage time. Be interesting if they retain... Where's Jamie Cumming on loan from? Anair. Yeah, Dempsey just jumped into the back. Oh, that's a painful one, doesn't it? Jumped into the back of Moore. Little clash of heads. Chelsea. Yeah. I'm sure he's probably the 18th choice keeper at Chelsea in their 75-man squad. They're just doing the concussion checks. The Oxford doctor on Elliot Moore, the captain, who is about to go up and lift a promotion trophy, assuming they don't concede 2 goals. Josh, how much expected extra time? Mate, loads. Absolutely loads. And with this stoppage now, I said minimum 8 minutes before this. Let's call it 9. That's going to be my guess. 9 minutes of stoppage time. You can get your guesses in the comments. Paul, we need 5 weeks of extra time to get a shot on target. Come on, Paul. Hang in there, mate. Remember Gillingham versus Man City in 1999? 2 goals in injury time. Got that back to 2-2 and Man City won on playoffs. I can't remember when the second... Can someone look that up for me? Was it Bob Taylor? When did he score the second Gillingham goal? I don't know whether that was late in the game. But certainly Man City Who was it? Horlock and Dickoff? One of the great ends to a playoff final. Oh, he's out actually, Elliot Moore. Greg Lee has come on. I think he might be going to play centre-back. Oh, sorry, Joe Bennett, excuse me, has gone out. So not Moore, beg your pardon. Yeah, Lee will play left-back, obviously, where Bennett was playing. Greg Lee, potentially, is going to win 2 promotions in a row from League One. Horlock, thanks, Rich. When did Gillingham score in that game? Horlock 90. There you go. Taylor scored. They went 2-0 up in the 87th minute and still drew 2-2. What an amazing... And they weren't even good chances that Man City got. It was just something in the air then. And they went on, obviously, to do a double promotion under Joe Royle, didn't they? Wow. Goodrum hoiks it forwards. Turned out to be a good ball into the channel. Well held by Harris, who's led the line really well, actually, all season for Oxford, hasn't he? And today, for sure. Top scorer with, I think, 15, it says on the crawler. And Oxford managing this well, but I think there is going to be plenty of stoppage time. Hang in there, guys. Oxford have been brilliant. Fair play to them. I mean, tactically, yes, they have, Liam, haven't they? I mean, they've hardly blown them away, but they've sat in and countered, scored 2 goals, and Murphy could have had another one in the second half of either of those chances. Could have got the hat-trick, couldn't he? $88-12 on the clock. But I think we're going to get a big swathe of stoppage time, if that's the right word to use. Jones tries to cross it, hits Lee, bounces back off Jones. It's going to be a goal kick. One with half the City fans on the coach ready to go home. Surely you've got to let them back in, haven't you? Or is that the deal for leaving early? Jones heads it away. Jerome flicks it on. And we're going to find out how much stoppage time we're getting in this one. But let's be honest, Bolton are not pushing now. So it would be pretty miraculous if they do manage to pull this out of the fire somehow. McGuane, who's looked nice and neat and tidy since coming on. Always nice coming on 2-0 up in a playoff final, isn't it? McGuane holds it in the corner. Cogley closes him down. And yeah, well played, ref. One of my pet hates, shepherding the ball in the corner. You have to be within playing distance. You can't just barge the guy off the ball, and that's what McGuane did. Right, how much stoppage time are we getting? 9! I've done this before, ladies and gentlemen. Nine more minutes of play. Wenlock, a lot of people said League One wasn't that strong this season with teams coming up from League Two. It does look like a tough league. Well, yeah, I suppose Wrexham and Stockport have got loads of money, haven't they, from what we understand. I suppose, who's gone down? Birmingham, Rotherham. God, who was the other team that went down? Huddersfield would be amongst your favourites. I suppose you've still lost Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, Derby, Portsmouth, and looks like you're still going to have Bolton there as well. as the camera on the wire, whatever you call that in Wembley, goes over the Oxford fans who are jubilant and are minutes away from promotion to the Championship. Yeah, more added time, exactly. Goodrum has got hurt. Free kick taken short. Oxford down to 10 as this goes into the box. Big header cleared by Moore. 9 minutes of stoppage time. Fair point, yeah, Peterborough as well. Peter. Always up there, aren't they? Perpetually. And a bit of S-housery there from the match winner. It looks like it's going to be the double goal, Josh Murphy. Just draws a foul in the corner off Dempsey, who's been a little bit hot-headed since he's come on. Millwall Holdings. Ben, being nosy, do you ever watch any local non-league football your way? No. And you will understand if you're a parent, Millwall Holdings, that if you're not working, you're busy being a parent of a 2-year-old. So I don't even go out, mate, honestly, let alone go to any football. We're working parents here, trying to do our best for little Enid. Lee is going to clear that one down the line. Murphy chases again. Looked like a bit of a pull there by Toll. Gets away with that one, actually. Just did it quickly enough, didn't he? And it's just Hail Mary stuff for Bolton now. They're just booting it down the pitch and trying to get men forward. Can they get a flick on, get a touch, long ranger, lucky bounce, goal. Here's Jerome. Is that going to be the lucky bounce? Not yet. Oh, penalty shout. Little lever in the back. And this is where all the Bolton fans say if the foul a minute ago on Murphy by Dempsey was a foul, then that's a foul. I didn't think either were fouls, to be honest, but no penalty is going to be given. Lee wins that one in the air and comes away with it down the line. Try and buy some time here. Oh, he's done better than that. Lee tries to poke it through the middle. That's well covered. And Bolton are going to try and launch another attack. It was Iredale coming across, actually. Really good bit defending from left wing back. Half cleared by Oxford. Here is Thomason. It's just attack versus defence. Can Oxford either just sit back and survive, or can they counter-attack? Because there'll be plenty of space if they do. There's a big switch of play looking for Murphy. It's not a good ball. Jones gets back and blocks it. And it is 94:30 on the clock. 4.5 minutes away from Championship football. Oxford. Bolton, 4.5 minutes away from consecutive playoff defeat. Tough to take for those Bolton fans who have turned out in their numbers today. Long journey back up to the northwest for Bolton fans. Potentially, unless we get something dramatic in these remaining 4.5 minutes of stoppage time. Fond memories of the Manogram. It was a fun one, wasn't it? Had about 9 different stands in it, didn't it? One of those old school grounds. Toll. Cogley. Pattern of play's just completely gone out the window for Bolton. Just get it in the box is the game here. Dempsey. Thomason. Thomason drives it in low, cleared away. Santos. Toll. Santos. Dempsey. Iredale into Jerome. Holds it up in the box. Little one inside to Cogley. He goes down. They're really reaching for a penalty here, Bolton, aren't they? But they're not going to get one. Can Oxford clear their lines? They'll probably get a chance on goal if they do clear their lines, given how attacking Bolton are going to have to be. Josh Murphy is the man of the match. 2 goals for him. It's always difficult in games that end 2-0 and someone scores 2 goals. Unless there's some kind of really stand-out performance elsewhere. It's normally the goal scorer that takes the honours for man of the match. Took that second goal really well, didn't he? 1 touch to go around the keeper. Slides it into the open net. First one did take a deflection. Still a chance for the hat-trick, possibly. In comes the cross. Murphy. Ooh, that really would have been man of the match stuff. Horrible volley though, wouldn't it? Yellow card has come out for, I think, Tyler Goodrum. Bless him, who's got 2 cotton things shoved up his nose. Dreadful miss kick there by Murphy. Seconds after winning the Man of the Match award. I don't know why Goodrum got booked. Must have kicked the ball away or something after the coming together. In goes the ball to the far stick. And I think that's going to be about it. We're 97-40. Greg Lee's just saying, look, slow down. Don't get the ball back too quickly. If they can kill 30 seconds now with the set play, the goal kick it down the ground and get in shape, that will be the last phase of play of the game as we come up 99 minutes. And Des Buckingham is going to get a promotion. The Bolton fans, you can't blame them, are heading out. They think it's all done. The Oxford fans jubilant the other end. And they've won the throw-in. And we're just counting down the seconds. Oxford are about to be promoted to the EFL Championship. What did someone say? 1999. They've been out for 25 years. Wow. Thank you for a hat-trick of consecutive live streams. You're very, very welcome. Absolute pleasure. Rich, am I hosting Blue Monday tomorrow? I think I am, aren't I? So you'll be able to see me tomorrow, everyone, as well. How about that? Here is Santos. We've played the 99 minutes. The ball's gone long, and I think we're literally 1 or 2 kicks and touches away from the final whistle. The Oxford fans set to celebrate. What a moment for them. Brilliant stuff. I think the whistle's about to go. Cumming takes the goal kick. And it is another goal kick. I was about to go into my post-match spiel. We're going to go up to 100 minutes, I think. There's the throw-in to Santos. In it goes long. We're still playing. Referee Barrett has not blown the whistle yet. And there is the final whistle. Congratulations, Oxford, and all the Oxford fans and players, and Des Buckingham, the Oxford manager. Oxford have been promoted to the EFL Championship. They finished 5th in the regular season. They have beaten Peterborough. They have beaten Bolton and won the League One playoffs. They will be in the 2nd tier for the first time for, I think, 25 years next season, the 24-25 season. Well played, Oxford. Well played, Josh Murphy, who got both the goals today. They sat in, to be fair, in the first half. Sprung out. Deflected strike from Murphy. Goal. Ball over the top. Clinical finish from Murphy. Goal. That'll do you. Clean sheet. And Bolton are defeated for the 2nd season running under Ian Evatt in the playoffs. They'll go again next season. I think they're on a trend up, Bolton, certainly since the League 2 days. I assume they'll stick with Everton go again next season, but Oxford are going to go again, a level up in the Championship. Congratulations to Oxford, any Oxford fans watching in the chat. Well played. And big plug to you, the Championship Check-In podcast. We'll be talking about Oxford United on the show. Worthy congratulations, plenty of them coming in. There we go. I'll try and click on all of them. There, well played, Oxford. They nailed it today, didn't they? There we go. Click on as many as we can. Well played, Oxford United. They're going to be in the Championship next season, and I need to disappear and put my little daughter, Enid, off to bed. So I'm going to bid you all farewell. If you want to hear from me tomorrow, you can if you want. I'll be on the Blue Monday podcast tomorrow night, and we will see you all very soon. Oxford United have won at Wembley and are going to be in the Championship. It was Oxford 2, Bolton 0 on the watch along. We'll see you all very soon.